जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीर वनचारी। जमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीर वनचारी। जमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीर वनचारी। जमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय वृषभाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत शिष्यमत इस डिवाइन ग्रेस भाई चरण अरविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन बेबडी फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय वृषभाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत शिष्यमत इस डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। रामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रज वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायपुर धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समावेत भक्त वृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5th, chapter number 12. Rahugan converses with Jad Bharat. This is a very famous verse today. Hare Krishna. Rahugana etat tapasa na yati na cha ijjaya nirvapanat grahat va na sannyasa. Okay, that is okay. Dasha na eva jala agni suryaihi vina mahat padarajah abhishekam rahugane tattapasa nayati न चेज्जया निर्वापणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्यै बिना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम् रहुगणै तत्तपसा न याति न चेज्जया निर्वापणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्यै बिना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम् रहुगणै तत्तपसा न याति न चेज्जया निर्वपणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्यै विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्
Rahu ganai tat tapasanayati. Nache jaya nirvapanad gruhadva. Na chandasa naiva jalagni suryai. Vina mahatpadarajobhishekam.
Rahu gananaita tapasanayati.
Rahu ganaita tapasanayati.
Nache jaya nirvapanad grihadva.
Nache jaya nirvapanad gruhadva.
Na chandasa naiva jalagni suryai.
Na chandasa naiva jalagni suryai.
Vina mahatpadarajobhishekam.
Vina mahatpadarajobhishekam.
Rahu Ganaita Tapasanayati.
Rahu ganaita tapasanayati.
Nache Jaya Nirvapanat Grahadva.
Nache jaya nirvapanad gruhadva.
Nachandasa Naiva Jalagni Suryai.
Na chandasa naiva jalagni suryai.
Vina Mahatpada Rajobhishekam.
Vina mahatpadarajobhishekam.
Mata.
Rahu ganaita tapasanayati. Nache jaya nirvapanad gruhadva. Na chandasa naiva jalagni suryai. Vina mahatpadarajobhishekam. Rahu ganaita tapasanayati. Nache jaya nirvapanad gruhadva. Na chandasa naiva jalagni suryai. Vina mahatpadarajobhishekam.
Rahugana.
Rahugana.
O King Rahugana.
O King Rahugana.
Etat, this knowledge, tapasa, by severe austerities and penances, nayati, does not become revealed, na, not, cha, also, ijaya, by a great arrangement of worshipping the deity, nirvapanat, or from finishing all material duties and accepting sannyas, grahat, from ideal householder life, va, or, na, nor, chandasa, by observing celibacy or studying Vedic literature. Na eva, nor, jala agni suryaihi, by severe austerities such as keeping oneself in water, in a burning fire, or in the scorching sun. Vina, without, mahat, of the great devotees, padarajaha, the dust of the lotus feet, abhishekam, smearing all over the body. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear King Rahugana, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of the great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulations of householder life, or living home as a vanprastha, accepting sannyas, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water, or surrounding oneself by fire and scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of great devotee. Actual knowledge of the transcendental bliss can be bestowed upon anyone by a pure devotee. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto. One cannot attain the perfection of the spiritual life simply by following the directions of the Vedas. One has to approach a pure devotee, anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadana vratam. By the grace of such devotee, one can understand the absolute truth. Krishna and one's relationship with him, a materialistic person sometimes thinks that simply by executing pious activities and remaining at home, one can understand the absolute truth. That is denied in this verse. Nor can one understand the absolute truth simply by observing the rules and regulations of brahmacharya, celibacy. One only has to serve the pure devotee. That will help one understand the absolute truth without fail. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajaivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Khanta Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Shri Haribri Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Rahugani tattapasa nayati na chejaya nirvapanad grahadva na chandasa naiva jalagni suryahi bina mahat padarajobhishekam. The absolute truth is revealed only by the mercy of the Lord and His pure devotee. Nayam atma na pravachanena labhya ahua athva bahuna srutenava. Upanishads are telling that you cannot achieve the absolute truth about your own self by too much eruditeship, too much lecturing, or too much hearing also. Remember, Sukadeva Goswami told Parikshit Maharaj, Parikshit, you heard this Ramayana how many times? All the stories of Ramayana, you know. I'm not going to waste time in talking the same thing. But I'll tell you the essential truth. And just hear with rapt attention. And Sukadeva Goswami describes. And he touches such subject matter that reveals the secret of ecstatic symptoms of Lord Ramchandra in different occasions, like getting separated from Sita, seemingly Ravana abducted her, and that story. So, a physical calamity is there, but the highest ecstasy is also hiding in it. All right? Now, this is the secret. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that these are the enactment of the internal potency of the Lord, Ladini Shakti. How could there be miseries and felt? So those who are in bodily conception of life, they say, oh my God, oh, even Krishna or Ramchandra has to, cry. Oh, the life is horrible. Life is horrible. So they should remain little detached from the bodily conception, but it increases and increases and increases. But devotees are enlivened by reading the commentary, even attachment of Lord Ramchandra is just like a henpecked husband, who is deliberately separated from his wife, and he is so much attached to her that he cries and looks around, and everything is in futile because he is roaming around everywhere and he cannot find. So, these are the enactments of Ladini potency. Ladini potency is always to increase the internal joy. But those who are in bodily conception of life cannot get it. But by the mercy of our predecessor Acharya, and that described the essence of understanding, you don't need the whole Ramayana. Where in Ramayana Lord Ramchandra has ever made any pleasure-giving attempt for anybody? No. Even though he ruled for 13,000 years, he went for the forest only for 14 years. But then he ruled for 11,000 years, and yet there are no incidents of any pleasure-giving either talks or activities. Have you ever read in the whole Ramayana? No. But these are the enactments of the Ladini potency. So how would you understand the separation of the gopis? That they derived so much pleasure at such an extent that even Krishna became completely handicapped and said, "Na parayeham," I will not be able to repay your love. It means they are victorious. If you cry, or if you become angry, do you have love behind it? No. Stop it. Understand the love is the real affection can be shown when we take care. So we do not act artificially. If we understand the nature, but this is available only through the mercy of devotees, pure devotees. So Raghavan is king, and he was on a kingly standard, and he wanted to get proper education to his standard and this and that. And Jad Bharat said, don't make a futile attempt. Just try to serve the spiritual master, the pure devotee, and get his blessings. That's good enough. Sattadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. These three things are very essential. just to know the secrets of the absolute truth, you must approach a bona fide spiritual master with very humble attitude, pranipada, pariprashna, and sevaya. Ta upadekshanti tam jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. He will impart you. You have only three things to do. Okay? But if you are inquisitive, you can ask pertinent question. It will be more revealing. When a person is becoming a little knowledgeable in the subject matter of the absolute truth, he will have inquiry. In blind faith, you do not. One must speak up, one must converse, remove the doubt. That will be more proactive situation to become benefited. So, upadekshanti tam. You will be instructed properly, about the secret of the knowledge. What is theoretical knowledge about mercy? Is there any theoretical knowledge about mercy? Mercy is simply the epitome of love which is pouring out from the heart, and it can be bestowed to whomever he chooses. Introspective devotees, those who hide their guru, they hide their mantra, hide their mala, and hide the Ishtadev, the four things you learnt. Okay? So, if they are introspective devotees, they will be more, inclined to know by serving attitude and ask pertinent questions. They will be revealed. Tattvadarshina means one who has seen the truth. And how will you realize the truth? That will define the truth's glory given in Vedas, like Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Chatushloki Bhagavatam, that also indicates the same thing. Aham Sarvasya Prabho, that also indicates the same thing. They will be revealed. No controversy there. It's a singular singularity in the nature of the absolute truth, no duplicity. The Vedas, they might give you little liberty to come to the right path. Okay? The Vishwa Hindu Parishad and other, they have that kind of logo from the Vedas. It says, Ano Bhadra Kritavo, let all the noble thoughts come from all directions. But then it's a hodgepodge. Yet it has to be revealed through the agency of a pure devotee. And as devotee, we should understand through the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam that this truth, because Rahugan himself was knowledgeable, but he did not know the mercy of the pure devotee. Jad Bharat is becoming merciful. So, from the highest standard of so-called knowledge to at least come to the point of receiving mercy, he has to advance. So, Jad Bharat is telling this, Rahugan, this absolute truth is not available. through tapsa nayati, na chejaya. Ijya means worshipping, nirvapana, becoming completely free from all entanglement, get liberated. Liberation is also not giving you the secrets of the absolute truth. Grahadaya means even expertly performing your household duties. It's not that criteria of obtaining they are corollaries. The principle is different. Corollaries are that you can accommodate. Because as long as we are in material world, the corollary is applicable. But ultimate aim is totally spiritual. So it is not available even by expert grahad, grahastha life. Na chandasa. Chanda means Vedic meters, but at the same it indicates that they are all the Vedas are written in different chandas. So the Vedas and Vedic instructions are, glorification. The dry glorification and wet glorification. Dry glorification means it's boring. But when somebody puts some rasa in the glorifying and so like changing the meter or little singing is involved, and so it becomes little relishable. That is the Vedic, psychology is behind. But the Vedas are not revealing the absolute truth. They are meant to. So, on your own studying the Vedas, you are wasting time. You are wasting. And then, Naiva Jalagni Surya. Jala, Agni, and Surya. And generally, the worship of sun is there while offering Anjali of water to him. Water is also produced by fire. Water is produced by fire. Anything that burns brings out carbon dioxide and water vapor. So who can deny that? So, Jala Agni. And that's why the homage offering is take palm full of water and pray to Surya and offer it. So, Jalagni Surya. In other words, it is if you keep yourself submerged in the water or surrounding oneself in the summer by the fire, isn't it? These are the different ways of doing tapascharya. It's too much.
No disturbance, because it's the garland is rubbing.
So, you see the method. The yogis want to set fire around them and sit in the very, very heat of summer. They think, but their aim is not the supreme absolute truth. It's a show. All right? People stand in the water for. Saubhari Muni was meditating in water and he became victim. So, all these methodologies are futile. If you take any method to achieve the absolute truth is more important than methodology. Absolute truth is more important than methodology. So if you target the absolute truth, why don't you go to the one who has the knowledge of the absolute truth. Serve him. It's easy. So, bina mahat seva pad rajobhishekam. Mahat sevam ahur vimukte tamodvaram yoshitam sangi sangam. All right? That kind of nature is there. So, we hear in seventh canto, in the talk, Prahlad Maharaj is very, very, targeting this particular point. He says, Matim na Krishne swatah parato va mitho vipadyeta grahavratanam. If we do not have, naturally, our attention of the absolute truth, Lord Shri Krishna will never be reposed in our mind. Swata, on our own. Parata, with the help of others. Or Prabhupada says, even you can make an association like United Nations, and give a voting, it will not give. The absolute truth is a different matter. So, swatah, paratah, or mitho vipadyet. Mitha means groups, right? Grahavratam, as long as we are grahavratis, means basic eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. They are called grahavratis, grahamedis. But grahastha, stay wherever you are. Stha means stay wherever you are. But shruti gatam tanu vangma, get to the verdict of the Shastras by mind, words, and activities. We have to come to the point of approaching the absolute truth to the person who knows it. Right? So, adant gobhi vishadam tamishram punha punascharvitam charvananam. Because our senses are unbridled, therefore we enter into chewing the chewed where there is no juice. Our efforts remain futile. So, naishamatim tavat urukramangri. That is the last one. Naishamatim. We will never be able to repose that ultimate intelligence. Mati means knowledgeability. Naishamatim. Tavat urukramangri, unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sprashyati anartham upashamam. It does, as long as it does not touch the subject matter of sense control, for those subsiding the anarthas, which are hampering our knowledgeability, or we are not getting purified, what it means, then mahiyasam yadi padarajobhishekam. Unless and until mahiyasam, the great devotees, padarajobhishekam, the taking the dust from their lotus feet, but nishkinchananam na vrinit chavat. Those exalted devotees, unless and until they are not available and they do not reveal, how are you going to get it? So it is the same thing. You try so many ways, MSc, PhD, DSc, this, that, life standard, that will throw you away from getting the secrets of absolute truth. One must be, fortunate enough to associate closely, and he will be revealed. And Krishna says, what will you reveal? Do you know the absolute truth? And what is the absolute truth? Na punar moham evam yasyasi Pandava. He will never get bewildered in the material world again. Etanya bhutanya sheshani drakshas atmanyathomai. All these living entities, but my part and parcel, they are in me and they are mine. Such close experiential truth we must come to know and live on that standard. That is Srila Prabhupada's nature. He came to impart this absolute truth. By chanting Hare Krishna, getting purified, everything is pre-requirement, but ultimate aim that we must know. And therefore we approach a spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, because he has seen the truth, he has realized. So in that much capacity he will give you. There are no pure devotees after Srila Prabhupada. Forget the whole movement. I will do whatever I can. Myself. There is no need. Without the mercy of devotees, one can never make tangible progress. Okay? We need to know our reality. We are not fake people. So why don't we? It is accessible in Kali Yuga. Otherwise those processes, dhanena, chejya, everything was a requirement to purify at a certain level from bodily conception of life. But ultimately, mahiyasam yadi padarajopishekam. So here it is, bina mahat padarajopishekam. Mahat pad. So like that, we have to, see that the Vedas are not differing from the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. In Mundaka Upanishad and Setashadhara Upanishad, even Kathopanishad, they bring you closer to the absolute truth. But impersonal situation will never promote you to the absolute truth. Impersonal. Only person is required. Unless and until one who is blessed, how can we be blessed? The material nature is so much against the humanity. People are still wanting to stick to the birthright of a Brahman, all right? Even though he ends up working abominable, right? That is the nature of Kali Yuga. Prabhupada used to say when we were children, playing in the streets, but one of the Brahman boy didn't have a job, so he was pushing thela, hard work like a Shudra. So we'll say, oh Pandit ji, pai lagu. And pushing thela, he said, beta jite raho. It's a farce, actually. Right? But that is not going to help. It's not going to help the psychology of the society. chant Hare Krishna, and Srila Prabhupada exhibited the nature. It's a wonderful, practice to make our life perfect. We don't depend. We have to depend upon mercy of sadhus. Always ready remain to render service to the sadhus and try to please them. They will not want anything, but they will engage you in devotional service. That is only their business. So anybody has any question?
Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much. Very nice lecture. Guru Maharaj, in the very beginning you mentioned every calamity has a hidden bliss in it. But how do we see that, Guru Maharaj?
Because you have to purify yourself to see it. If you are not purified, then how can you see? Chant Hare Krishna diligently. The holy name is all powerful. Okay? You can't give a material alibi to understand spirituality. It's not a mechanical process. Always try to be greedy for getting mercy of the Lord. Not simply without rendering service to Him, no. And without asking pertinent question, no. And pariprashna. What is a prashna and what is a pariprashna? If you have asked a question and you are not satisfied because you have not experienced that absolute truth, right? So there are two things. Either your limitation as an obstacle in understanding, or you are not practicing the way it has to be practiced. Two things are there. So pariprashna means ask over and over again in a very sincere way, and Krishna will reveal. Krishna doesn't want to reveal directly about him. He wants to be introduced by his pure devotee. So we need to, but we have to also take up the process and purify our existence. Stop our, faulty behavior. Okay, stop our criticism of the world. You become aloof. Just be tolerant. And Krishna will bless you. Cultivate those 26 qualities and you will be better off. Study that, because we are not born perfect, right? But our approach is towards the perfection, right?
So, in this verse, is that literally also true? That the dust of the lotus feet we have to smear on the body? Is that also, I can understand that we have to actually ask the questions, serve the devotees, and then we will get the mercy to understand absolute truth. But literally as well, is that we have to take the dust and smear on the body?
You can smear through three ways: physically, verbally, and mentally. But if all these three attempts are sincere, then they are equivalent. Do you know how much problem you will give to the feet of a devotee? To remove each and every speck of dust. Better stop that. So, artificially,
Guru Maharaj, you mentioned that liberation is not going to give you the absolute truth. So, devotees should never seek liberation, isn't it?
now it comes on the way. If it comes away, then why do you have to get away from it? It is it is a must step, like Nishtha, to progress further. It's not the end. Buddhists wanted to get nirvana, means finishing all the material activity is called nirvana. But it doesn't say you have to finish. There is no finishing of the spiritual activity. Can you ever finish spiritual activity then?
Is that because the eternity of...
Yes, it is eternal occupation.
You told 4 things to be hidden and then ask questions. What is that, Maharaj? That 4 things we have to hide our japam, hide our guru, hide our mantra, and
Meaning is that you become introspective. If you are careless to put your japamala somewhere and can't find, who is to be blamed? Japamala is for your liberation. Go enter into it's like it's the visa to enter into the spiritual realm. And as far as a spiritual master is concerned, he is ever accompanying all the way up to the gate of Goloka. Because he is also going there. He takes your hand and... but once you are handed over to Krishna, then bye-bye spiritual master. There is... spiritual master is always integral part of Lord Shri Krishna. He has his own relationships, which was established by his spiritual master for himself. All right? Any other question?
Maharaj, see, we heard from Bhagavad Gita that Krishna actually takes example of Janak Maharaj, who got perfected himself through following the prescribed duties. And so, by Krishna taking his example for that, he has gotten the mercy of the Lord as well. So, how should we understand this, Maharaj? Because who actually perfected following the duties and getting the mercy of the Lord. And here, so you're saying that is not really important, but we should get the mercy of the deity.
He perfected. He didn't have material body. He has spiritual body, the self-same body. Was spiritualized. So, he went back home, back to Godhead with self-same body. Janak Videhi is called. Vigadasya yasya deha iti videha. And therefore Sita is called Vaidehi. Alright? Now simply that tract of region, where she was born is called Vaidehi. Now we have spiritual nature. Only the constituents are becoming purified. There are no more material, qualities in it. So Janak Maharaj perfected his life, from the very beginning. He always wanted Lord Ramchandra to marry his daughter. Inherently in Tulsi Ramayana, it is not in Tulsi Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, it is stated that Janak Maharaj heard about Ramchandra and Vishwamitra will be bringing both Ram and Lakshman to the Swayamvar. He didn't have any other thought, but Janki will be belonging to him, But there were adversaries. So against all the adversaries, Janak Maharaj was not deviated or changed his thought. Neither he had any doubt on the potency of Lord Ramchandra. So, in such, say, however trying circumstances are created in the material way to lift up Lord Shiva's, Dhanush and, break it. So much external power is required and everybody failed. Right? So, for the Lord, it is not difficult. Right? His potencies are different. He is the origin of everything. Then, what to speak of little Dhanush? It's just like a little toy in the hand. Right? So, wholesome potency versus a little contained potency and thinking power cannot match. So, unless and until we become very broad in our spiritual realization, then we'll see that the whole thing, a whole material world is nothing but a family. So more magnanimous one is, the material conception becomes very insignificant. That's the way you have.
Thank you for the class this morning. Maharaj, you mentioned we should just tolerate. And we hear so many times that we need to tolerate, but when the time comes, it's so hard to tolerate. How can we practically cultivate tolerance? What can we do to ensure that when that time comes, when you need to tolerate, that you can actually do it?
Is there any limit of tolerance? Why do you set up a limit? When you desire unlimited happiness, right? And it is not there. And yet you have to tolerate that. And miseries are imposed. You cannot stop it. So you have to tolerate it. Material world is not what you desired, but you were put through. It's like a prison house. In prison house, it is not your limit of tolerance that will make you. Punishment is there. But if you can tolerate for the pleasure of the Lord, tatte anukampam susamikshmana bunjanam evatmakritam vipakam radvag vapurve vidadam namaste jivet same yukti tamo mukti padesa daya bhak. He is, qualified to get liberated if he tolerates. Otherwise, this material world is not a happy place. Right, Mataji? You are tolerating so much inconveniences. Hey, Prabhuji, you never complained even. That's a good sign. Who does not have to force to be tolerant? Everybody. Tolerance is a very good virtue. It cannot be compensated by many enticements. Enticement or seeking pleasure is an alibi to remove the miseries. But our activities themselves are so much entangling that if we know why do we have to tolerate? Because there is some vikarma is there and you do not like. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma jada indriya pritrane apnoti na sadhu manye atmanoyam asad api kleshada asadeha. The body is asat, temporary, kleshada, and pain giving, not pleasure giving. Alright? So, asadeha. Tappara bhavasya bodha jato javanna jigyasam atma tattvam. He will be a dead sure failure if he does not know the Atma Tattva. Alright? So javad kriya tavad manobi karmatmakam eva sharir bandhana. His activities are dictating his material existence. Whatever he performs, it is set in his mind and karmatmakam eva sharir bandhana. He is ever bound up in the field of karma, atmakam, karma. Karma is always going to be bind. Akarma will not bind you. Right? So, when you are bound up, is there any question of tolerance or it is force? Yeah, forced to be punished. So, when a devotee is coming under precarious condition, if he is a devotee, his attitude will be completely other way around. Oh my dear Lord, you are so kind that you have given me a little token, but my activities are so much weaker, you are giving me, very little punishment. Otherwise, I deserve more. So, if that attitude is cultivated, then he is qualified to get liberated, not otherwise. He considers whatever miseries are coming, that is due to anukampa of the Lord. Anukampa means mercy. ઘરમાં ઝઘડો થયો હોય તો ભગવાન તમે મરસી કરી હવે અંદર ઉતરવું નથી પણ ડોન્ટ ઇન્વોલ્વ ઇન ટુ ઝઘડા that is the grahastha has to, you know, okay, tomorrow you can go on fighting. Yeah. Thank you very much. I am not part of your. Neither I want to see you fighting, you know.
Maharaj, sometimes some, we expect to meet, we receive moments of ecstasy from the Lord. But it's only moments. Why doesn't it last?
Because it's sentiments. Sentiments are disturbing our devotional service. Sensitiveness should be cultivated. It means tolerate both happiness and distress together. Not one way. Life is deadly miserable. You know, it's going to be miserable. Old age is miserable, diseases are miserable, birth is miserable. Huh? Everything is miserable. It's never said to be happy. Yet we want to say, happy birthday to you, have a cake. Huh? How many cakes will be cutting this time?
We'll find out.
You know? Prabhupada said, this material world is not for a gentleman. You know? Hare Krishna, thank you very much.